All right, so the last topic, inverse and determinant. I would usually teach you how to do these by hand. We're not. You are just going to learn straight how to do them on the calculator. There's just a few things you need to know. Okay, so the inverse is essentially this. It is a times a to the negative 1, which would equal a to the negative 1 times a, which would equal the identity matrix. Okay, that's the definition of an inverse. Okay, and you guys already know that, like 2 times a half equals a half times 2, which equals 1. Okay, that's what an inverse is. It comes out to the operation we need it to be. Okay, so the inverse is going to be this a to the negative 1. That's how we're going to denote it. And so where you're going to find that on your calculator is this x to the negative 1 button. Okay, right where the matrix is, you're going to use that to find the inverse. All right. Okay, the determinant is something that helps you find the inverse. By hand. We aren't going to do this by hand, so we're just going to teach you how to find it on the calculator, okay, just in case in the future you were asked to find the determinant on SAT, ACT, anything like that, you'll have a calculator, just use a calculator, all right? Okay, so here we go. Oh, one key thing, both of these can only be done for square matrices. Okay, and so what square means again is the rows equals the columns. If it's not a square matrix, you can't find the inverse, you can't find the determinant. It only works for square ones. All right, so this first one, we have a equals, and I have -3, -4, -4, 5, okay? And number 2, we're gonna do a c equals -4, -2, 2, 1. All right. Okay, so here we go. We're going to find the inverse and the determinant. All right, so we're going to come in here, and I'm going to go to second matrix. Okay, and we want to edit A. So I'm going to go over to edit, scroll down to A, and hit enter. And this one is, again, rows by column, so 2 by 2. Okay, and so we're going to do 2, enter, 2, enter. And now I'm going to just enter in. So -3, enter, -4, -4, 5. All right. Okay, so we're going to hit second, quit. We want to find the inverse and the determinant. So here we go. We want to find a to the -1. So we're going to hit second matrix. And I'm not going to edit this one. I just want to use what I just typed in. So I'm going to use a. I'm going to type in -1 right there. And it will give me my answer. Okay. And this one comes out with a bunch of weird decimals. All right. Alex probably won't want decimals. Guess what? That math frac button also works with matrices. And just turn it straight into fractions. All right, and we're good to go. So it is -5 over 31, -4 over 31, 4 over 31, and 3 over 31. All right, and so that's my inverse right there, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Now to find the determinant of A. Notation for determinant is absolute value of A or DET of A. Doesn't matter. Most people will use this. However, some people will say technically that's absolute value of the determinant. It's weird. So I would just use absolute value essentially to say what a determinant is. And the way we'll do this is go to second matrix. So go to second -1. I want you to scroll over to math. Okay, we have all kinds of things. We have a determinant. I really don't know what that one is, but this third one, dimensions. If you're struggling to name it rows by columns, just click on DIM, then click on the matrix you want, enter. It'll tell you the rows by the columns. So if that's what you want. The identity matrix will come up. We could do all kinds of things. Listing matrix. We're going to use these, this one, B, RREF. Okay, we'll use that next lesson a lot. Okay, these row swap, row plus, times row, things like that. That is something we'll talk about next time. Okay, so we want the determinant, and I want it of matrix A. Okay, and so I hit enter, and it comes out as a whole number. It will always come out as a whole number. Okay, one single number. So the determinant is -31. All right, so go ahead, try to do that with C. So enter C, okay, and then find its inverse and find its determinant. All right, so I'm not going to walk you through it. I'll just kind of show it on the screen. So edit, oh, whoops, not edit C, A. Edit C, that is a 2 by 2. Okay, -4, 2, 1, second quit. And hopefully we get this. Okay, so pause if you're not here because I want to explain what's happening. It says singular matrix C. Okay, what that means is this one doesn't have an inverse. Okay, it is a singular matrix. Or matrix C. Okay, no inverse. All right, and we're gonna know why here in a second. And the reason we're gonna know why is something about the determinant. So remember I said if you're gonna do it by hand, you need to find the determinant, okay? And so let's go ahead and find the determinant of this guy. And so second, matrix, math, determinant, and we'll go to C, okay? And when I type that in, the determinant comes out to be 0. Okay, and so the way you find the inverse is scalar multiplication, okay? And you multiply it by 1 over the determinant. So think about that. If I do 1 over 0, well, that's undefined. That's not an answer, right? You can't divide by 0 and then multiply, okay? So that's why when the determinant's just any number, we're fine, because what I did, hopefully you see this, is 1 over 31, and I multiplied this through. Some of the spots change, but that's it. Okay, it's a scalar multiplication thing. So here our determinant is 0, okay, and so the key thing I want you to know is when the determinant equals 0, there is no inverse. All right, well, that is our Matrix 8.3 lesson.